Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we have an unboxing, a very special unboxing because here we have the new Black Templar Excrator. So today we are going to open this box, we're going to check the instructions, check all the plastic bits, and after that we're going to assemble this miniature. But before I continue, I would like to thank all my Patreon supporters because this video was possible thanks to all of them. Here we have a closer look of the box, one Citadel miniature, Black Templar Excrator, because remember that this is not a generic Space Marine, this is a unique character for the Black Templars. However, look at this closer. If we change the shoulder pads, this could be a chapline for any chapter. Maybe it will be a little bit unusual to see those chains to the weapons in other regular Space Marine chapters, but I think that there's a lot of potential here. Here we have the back of the box. As always, we have a scale 1/1 of this miniature. I think that he looks great, very nice size. I'm looking forward to see how it's going to look. And of course, here we have the different variants that we have for this miniature. We already can see that we have the choice of helmet or no helmet. We have two different crucius, and we have nice different weapon options for this miniature. So yes, I'm happy with what I'm seeing here so far. Anyway, here we are doing an unboxing, so let's take a look at what's inside of this box. Okay, so here we have the instructions, one sprue that will allow us to build one Execrator from the Black Templars, and a 40mm base. Let's leave this for later, and we're going to start checking the instructions of this miniature. Okay, so as always, here we have the different assembling options that we have, but this one is only referring to the weapons, because of course there's also some customization options, but let's start from the beginning. I like this. Until now, this looks very simple and straightforward. I'm happy when things are like that. It seems like we start with the back of the body, after that we just attach the legs, both of them, and yes, it seems like each leg consists on two different bits. Not bad, it's okay. And then we have like this huge piece that is the whole front of the body. After this, basically we have almost the whole miniature assembled. But of course there's more to assemble, and here is where the fun begins. I like a lot what I'm seeing here, because this is something that I repeat all the time, but I really like to say that, and it's that I will always praise miniatures or generic characters that will give us a lot of different options. And here we have a lot of different weapon options. So let's start by this page. Something that I like a lot, but I really like, is that we have one arm for the pistol, but we have two different pistols for the arm. I like that a lot, because we have another arm for the sword or the relic, which means that if, for example, we decide to use the sword or the relic, we are going to have an extra arm with, for example, a fire pistol that is like chained. So we can use this arm for different Black Templars. That's always welcome, and I'm always happy to see these kind of things. But it's not also that we have different weapon options for this miniature, it's also the attention to detail, because, for example, let's take a look at this. If we decide to equip the character with a pistol, we have that pistol represented on the miniature. So here on the back we can attach this book that it looks nice. However, if we decide to equip the character with either the sword or the relic, then that pistol is not represented, so we can add the pistol with the holster here to the back, so the character is like having all his weapons. I don't know, I really like this kind of details. Again, another arm with two different options, always welcome, and on top of all of that, we have two different crucius that we can equip this character with. On the previous page, we were checking different weapon options, and here we are checking different customization options that again are always welcome. We can see that we have the choice of helmet or without helmet. And then we have here the attaching of the Black Templar shoulder pads. The good thing about this is what I said previously. I'm sure that we can change these shoulder pads for any other chapter, and it should look like a chaplain from that chapter, so that's always a plus for all the Space Marine players. And here for the back we have three different options. I knew about this one and this one. I have to say that for me, This one looks much more generic for Space Marines, but this one looks a lot like a Black Templar character, so I will go for this one. I think that this one looks cool, quite cool. But of course, if we don't want to bother with this kind of decoration, we can just have like the regular bag for the miniature and just don't put anything there. And then obviously we have some purity seals, and we can also add more purity seals to the miniature. And finally, it seems that there's a nice choice for us to decide to add the small shield or not. So choices are always welcome. Yeah, the instructions are fine, but now let's focus on the bits. First of all, at the moment of making this video, this is a super new kit from this same year. So yes, here we have a brand new miniature. When I look at this, the first thing that I notice is this huge bead with almost the whole front of the body, because it's like, okay, I can see a lot of this miniature here. But I want to mention especially this part right here, because here is where we can add that small shield to add some heraldry or whatever we want to add to it. And if we don't want to add it and we just want to have plain armor, it's going to look great by itself. So I don't know, it's a really good design. We also can see the back. This is my least favorite bit in the whole kit, because why is there not a Black Templar cross sculpted here? Like, there should be one. I'm sad that there is not. But anyway, it's a minor issue, so there's nothing that it cannot be solved with some painting. So yes, that's it. And then we have the customization options. This one looks okay, but in my opinion, it's a little bit more generic. It looks more like what a Space Marine will wear. This one feels much more like something that a Black Templar will wear, because here we have the sword. This is a typical Black Templar sword, and you can see that the design is super similar. Here we also have the different customization options for the Crucius, and we have a nice tactical rock that I didn't notice until now, that there's an orc skull right there. So very nice touch. I like when there's skulls on the bases. I don't know why, but I like it. And what else can I see here? Oh, here we have the relic. That is just a skull with a chain. But actually, for example, I'm sure that they want to use the sword and they share the same arm. But here it's like a chain, so I'm sure that this bead can be used for any other Black Templar, because it's a chain. We can just cut the chain and glue it to whatever we want. Obviously, we have some nice Black Templar shoulder pads. These one are the ones that I like the most for the Black Templars. This is a typical one that the Sword Brothers will wear. So yes, they feel really good on characters. And then we have, of course, Purity Seals. I especially like this one because we have a Black Templar cross right there. And I didn't notice that in the Absolver pistol, we have also a Black Templar cross. So very nice attention to detail. Here we can see the sprue on the other side, and of course here we are going to focus on the heads. I like this one. I think that it looks cool, very angry, but I don't know, for characters that are chaplains or close to chaplains like this one, I really feel like those skull helmets are like super awesome. So I don't know, I feel like it's the way to go with chaplains. We check the instructions, we check all the bits. Now it's time to start assembling this miniature. Before I start, I just want to mention that I'm going to use this bit from the Black Templar upgrades. Before I consider this miniature as fully assembled, I would like to make the base a little bit more interesting, so that's why now I'm going to cut some bits of sprue and just glue them to the base. And this is it, this is the final result, this is how I assembled the new Black Templar Execrator. It was a really fun experience, I really like a lot this miniature, and as I said, I will always compliment miniatures that give us a lot of different options. I want to say that I'm very happily surprised because, I mean, it's Games Workshop, we expect quality from their miniatures, but in this case, I have to say that the mold lines were like perfect, like they were very subtle, they were in areas that they were not going to be visible, or they were very easy to remove, they were like not very like annoying. So I'm very happy about the quality of this miniature by itself. Obviously, I also like a lot the design of the miniature, and my choices are quite simple. This is a Black Templar, so I went for full close combat, and I also like a lot this specific pose. I don't know, it's like very aggressive, very like, it's like a super nice action pose, so I like it a lot. Aside from that, I like this Crucius a little bit more, and as I said, I think that this cross with the Crusade seals are quite nice, and they combine quite well with the sword, so yes, I went for that directly. If there's a skull helmet, I will use it, so I went for it. Maybe I will try to use that extra head for some Black Templar miniature, but yes, I'm quite happy with how this miniature looks. It's also nice that I have some extra bits to customize other Black Templar miniatures, because it's always nice to have this kind of bits, because we can take generic Space Marines and turn them into proper Black Templars. Regarding the base, I like to have these urban bases on my Black Templar, so in this case I went for it directly. I mean, I knew that I was going to do this when I was basing the miniature, so it's like, okay, now that I'm assembling this miniature, I will just do that. So like that, it will be easier when I want to just paint this miniature. That actually, I'm looking forward to do that. So very soon you will see a video of me painting this miniature, and I hope that you enjoyed this assembling process and the unboxing of this new miniature for the Black Templars. I would also like to remind you that if you like what I do and you would like to support the channel, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. To finish with this miniature, I can say that it's also nice to have nice options for assembling this miniature, because if we want to have two of them, it's totally possible to have two of them that will look not super different, but at least they will look different, and that's always a good thing. And with all of that being said, this is it, this is the end of the video, this is how I assembled this new Black Templar miniature. As always, if you're still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.